Welcome back. We're going to get on to boxing now. And Oleksandr Usyk has cemented his place amongst boxing's all-time greats after becoming undisputed world heavyweight champion for a second time. He knocked out Daniel Dubois at a packed Wembley at the weekend and has now dominated the heavyweight division for years, beating everybody in his path. Delighted to say we can speak now to Dubois' manager, Frank Warren. Frank, thanks very much for joining us. First of all, how is Daniel?
I haven't spoke. I'm not his manager, by the way. I'm his promoter. But I haven't spoke with him. I spoke with one of the team yesterday. He's obviously quite dejected and down. But you know, that's what happens when you lose fights. You've got to pull your boots back up and get on with it. And that's what he'll do.
I mean, he was up against, wasn't he, an incredible talent. Would you say that Usyk is a generational talent?
Yeah, he's a generational great. There's no doubt about that. You know, Daniel, I thought Daniel done okay the first couple of rounds, but, you know, Usyk then just basically took over the fight. He's got a great mental, you know, he's so strong mentally, Usyk. You know, you think about it, every fight he's had has been on the road because of obviously the war in Ukraine, going into other people's backyards and coming away with a prize each time. It takes a bit of a mindset to do that, as well as the skills that he has. But he done a fantastic job and took the fight over and eventually stopped Daniel.
How do you think he compares to the other greats of the sport then, the likes of Muhammad Ali, Lennox Lewis, George Foreman, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield?
He's up there with them all. He's up there. You know, he's in the top 10, and you left out Larry Holmes, who was a great fighter. You know, they would have been, you know, of each generation. It's all, you know, we always do it, all of us in boxing. I wonder how this one would have got, you know, how would Muhammad Ali have got on with Usyk and all these sort of, you know, permutations. But you can only be the best as you can in your generation. And he at the moment is the guy, and he's done it. He's done it at 3 levels. He won the gold medal in the Olympic Games. He unified all of the cruiserweight titles, the 4 belts. And he's done the same in the heavyweight division. And at 38 years of age, he's undefeated. So he's one of the greats.
Tyson Fury insists that he's the only man who can beat Usyk. Will he step out of retirement for a trilogy?
We'll see, but he likes that fight. He wants that fight. And they were close fights, by the way. You know, very, very close fights, both of those fights that Tyson had with him. So who knows? Anything can happen in this business, and maybe that's a fight that could be made if indeed Usyk wants to do it and Tyson wants to do it. I have no problem with it. In fact, it was mentioned during an interview over the PA address at Wembley on Saturday, and everybody gave it a loud cheer. So, you know, I'm sure there'd be an appetite for it.
Oh, they absolutely would, wouldn't they? We'd all love to see it. I mean, Fury himself has said that, you know, April 18 at Wembley is the date and venue for the fight. Can you see that happening on that date?
I don't know. Look, you know, we'd like to see it happen. That's all I can tell you at this stage. You know, he's filming at the moment with his Netflix series, Home with the Furies 2. He's got a documentary also that's being filmed. So he's out of action this year. And as you quite rightly say, before he comes back, it'll be sometime probably in early New Year, April. But we got to have a conversation. I'm sure at the moment the last thing Oleksandr wants to be talking about is fights. He's been in a hard training camp. He's got the victory and he's back home with his family now, enjoying the fruits of his labour.
Yeah. I mean, look, you know Tyson really, really well. Does an Usyk fight, do you think, motivate him more than an Antony Joshua fight?
Yes, it does. It does. You know, the public all wants to see him fight AJ. You know, and it's a fight that's not happened, and you know, it's one of those fights that maybe should have happened a few years ago, but it didn't for various reasons. But there's a massive appetite for that fight too. But, you know, Tyson, I think, basically wants what he feels. He wants to try and put the record straight with Usyk. That's the fight he would like.
Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn has suggested that Anthony Joshua is in talks with Jake Paul. What do you make of that?
There are talks. I'm quite aware of that. There are talks, and yeah, you know, whatever people say about Jake Paul, if he's willing to step up and get into the ring with AJ, that tells you a lot about him. Shows that he's got some belief in himself. It's a tough fight for him, but I'm sure if it happens, everybody will buy into it. You know, the general public will buy into that fight.
Do you think he'd have any chance against AJ, Jake Paul?
I've got to go with AJ because the fact he's been a professional boxer for so long. He's a naturally big man. But having said that, Jake's got some, he's got a bit of heart in him, that's for sure. And maybe see something in the last fight that AJ had against Daniel, where Daniel done a job on him. You never know. But whatever, if it happens, big if it happens, but if it does, I'll tell you won't be able to get a ticket for that. You won't be able to get, rightly or wrongly, where it should be happening, you will not be able to get a ticket for it.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that one. Let's move on to Joseph Parker, because I know you promote his UK fights. He's the WBO mandatory challenger for Usyk now. Does that fight have to happen in the next 6 months?
Yeah, the WBO have actually said that the winner of the fight on Saturday, which is Usyk, he's got his first match. That's the next mandatory due out of the 4 belts, and it has to take place by the end of the year. So yes, that will be the case. Unless he vacates the belt. If he decides to vacate it, then he'll have to fight the number 1.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So if Usyk does vacate the belt, then who would Parker fight next?
Number 1 is Moses Itauma.
Oh, that's a tasty one, isn't it?
The heavyweight division is on fire at the moment. Some great fights. It's had a real renaissance period. It's the blue ribbon division of boxing, and all these guys. There's so many good fighters in there. So many good fights happening, and again, if that one was to happen, that would be a massive, massive fight.
Yeah, it would. I mean, Moses Itauma, the casual fan maybe might not know that much about him. How good can he be?
Look, he's 20 years of age. He's undefeated. As an amateur, he won the European champions, junior European champions. He knocked everybody out. Everybody he knocked out in that event. And then for the world championships, he had the ones he didn't knock out, he put them on the floor. He's a tremendous puncher. He's on a real run of form. He's fighting on the 16th of August for the Riyadh season show in Riyadh. In a really tough fight against Dillian Whyte. It's a big step up for him. If he comes through that, I mean, he would have well and truly announced himself on the world stage. And that will be if that fight were to happen with Joe Parker or any of those guys at the top, everybody's going to have a lot of interest in it because in boxing, a lot of people see him as being the heir to the throne. And I think they're quite right to think that too.
Oh, so many exciting fights out there potentially. Frank, great to talk to you. Thanks so much for spending the time with us today.
It's a pleasure. All the best to you.
You too.